Okay, so why did Krishna come? Which verse in Bhagavad Gita he says? Anyone? Yuga Yuga. Okay, Dharmasya.
Sarvabharta Galina.
Okay, he says that wherever, I better tell in English, wherever there is a decline in religious principles, I come to this material world to annihilate the miscreants and to save the devotees. So,
Prabhu, just now you asked for what again? Where the verse come from, is it?
yeah,
Chapter 4, verse 7, my favorite verse.
read, you can read.
Can read, huh? Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutanam adharmasya tadatmanam sujayam.
English.
Whenever there is a decline in righteousness and an increase in unrighteousness, O Arjun, at that time I manifest myself on earth.
Yeah. So Krishna came to help all the devotees and to annihilate all the evil-minded people in the world who are very who are actually doing a lot of mischief. So here we have what happened was that Kamsa had a sister named of Devaki. Kamsa had a sister named Devaki, and he got her married. The brother Kamsa got her married to Vasudev, and they got married. And on the marriage day, somehow or another, Kamsa came to know that your sister, the eighth son, will be born to kill you. So then he was very upset. So he said, no, I'm going to kill my sister because I don't want anyone to come and kill me. So then he was going to kill his sister on her marriage day. And Vasudev, the husband, said, why you're killing your sister? It's not that she is going to kill you. It is that the son of hers, eighth son, will kill you. So why don't we come to a compromise? Every on the eighth son will give to you, and then you can do whatever you want with it. You leave her alone. You let her go. He said, no, I cannot take the risk. Then he promised that eight children, whatever children that they get will be given to him. So then he said, okay. So then he put them in the jail, in a lockup. In Mathura, if you go Mathura, there is a temple now where Krishna was born in the jail. It's very nice temple. If ever you manage to go Vrindavan, then you go to Mathura. It's not so far. You go there and you see a nice temple, but please go early. Of course, now COVID time, you can't go anyway. But go early because they close early, about 2 or 3 o'clock. So in this way, you see it's a very nice temple. You go there, and then anyway, so then every time the child was born, Kamsa took and he killed the child. So 7 children he killed. Now the 8 children, this Devaki has having a child in her womb, and this time she became like very effulgent. She became very effulgent because Krishna was the 8th child. So then Krishna was born on midnight. Now what happened is Kamsa was anxiously awaiting for the birth of this child. But Krishna came midnight when Kamsa was asleep. And Yoga Maya make everyone sleep at that time. Even the guards who were waiting all fell asleep. And then Krishna was born to Devaki. You can see this small Krishna. And then Krishna showed his four-handed Vishnu form to Devaki. And then uh, Lord Vishnu tell Vasudev, you bring me, Krishna, to across to Vrindavan. There Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj has a baby girl. You switch the baby. They don't know it's a baby girl or boy. They don't know. So all you have to do is just you put me there and bring me out. So then Vasudev took Krishna on a basket and it was raining heavily. And this Balaram in the form of the Sesaniga, he was giving shelter. Lord Balaram's appearance day was, as you know, on Sunday yesterday, and he always is in service of the Lord. So then, then there was this big river to cross, Yamuna river, how to cross. But he could walk on the water. He could walk on the water, he didn't even fall in. And Vasudev went across and he reached nicely and he go and switch the child. This is Yashoda mother. She was sleeping and the baby was there. And he took Krishna and put him there and took the baby and he brought back to the jail. In the morning, the baby cried. And then comes out, everyone woke up and everything. You see, even the jail, the lock immediately opened. Automatically was open. And when Vasudev went back, automatically it locked. So then when the baby was born, Kamsa came to take the baby. He took the baby and wanted to smash the baby. But this time, normally he can kill the baby. But this time the baby just slipped and went up into the air and said, Kamsa, the person whom is going to kill you is already born and he is not here. He is somewhere else in Vrindavan. So you have failed. And the baby, it's actually Yoga Maya, she disappeared. So then Kamsa was very, very astonished. And he said, I have to kill all the babies in Vrindavan. So then he got a lot of demon friends. So the first demon he sent was Putana. Putana was a demon, a lady demon, and he said, put poison on your breast and feed all the babies there and kill them. So then she went there and she changed from a demon to a very beautiful lady. So beautiful that if you see her, you say, such a nice lady. I can trust her with anything. So she came and she went around and killing children. When she went to Mother Yashoda's house, and what happened was, she said, can I feed your child some milk? So mother said, okay, no problem. And then she had put poison, and while trying to feed the baby, Krishna started sucking out from her breast the life air of the Putana. And Putana was like shocked, and Krishna hold on to the breast, and she wanted to throw Krishna down, but then could not throw because Krishna was holding on to her and he was sucking the life air. And then so much so that she could not help it. She was so much in pain that she changed back into her normal form, very big, huge demonic form, and fell down dead. And Krishna was on the breast of her. And everyone came running, thinking, what is happening? What is happening? And finally they came and they saw that what happened? The Krishna is on top of this demon, Putana. So then they quickly took the Krishna, and to the demon was so huge that they had to burn the demon. So they started cutting the demon into smaller pieces and making a fire and burning the fire and cremating the demon because it was so big, so can't be helped. Anyway, that's how Krishna killed his first demon. So, and then after that, Kamsa found out that Putana is dead. So he sent more demons. And then there are a lot of demons he sent. I'm not going to go into the full story of all the demons, but quite a lot of demons he sent. And all one by one, Krishna killed all of them. So much so that Kamsa was very shocked. He was saying that how is it that a small boy can kill so many of my huge, powerful demons? I cannot understand. So Krishna anyway did a lot of pastimes of killing demons. Now there is this special pastime in the month of Deepavali, 2 months before and 2 months after. Krishna always liked to eat butter. He and Balaram, you can see, are eating butter, stealing butter, not only from everyone's house. And there's this Damodara pastime. So I'm not going to Damodara pastime today, but anyway, this one of the nice pastime. I will go into one maybe next week. So what happened is he used to steal butter, and mother was very upset. And one day, as I have told, I think that Krishna ate mud, right? And then Mother Yashoda opened the mouth and saw the universal form. So then also there is a very beautiful story of this fruit seller who was selling fruits, but Krishna did not have any money, so she gave Krishna all the fruits for free. And in the end, her basket she was carrying back her basket and she was wondering why my basket so heavy. And then finally she saw it was full of gems. You see, Krishna sees your devotion. And then he saw her devotion. He give her everything. He makes her so much. Uh, he gives so much to his devotees because he is the owner of all. So here are all the different pastimes of Krishna with Mother Yashoda. And I won't go into so many pastimes, otherwise we cannot finish the other things. So these are very cute pastimes of Krishna. And you can see so many different pastimes if you read the Krishna book. And so I will actually now give you the full story in hypnosis. Okay. So what happened is Krishna was born about 5,228 years ago. That means this is now the year 2021. You go backwards to number 1 is the day when Jesus was born. The English calendar is the day that Jesus was born. So then after that, 3,200 years before, Krishna was born. He was born at the end of Dwapara Yuga, born to Devaki and Vasudeva. But even though he was born to Devaki and Vasudeva, his childhood was in the hands of Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj. So even the parents who gave birth to him did not enjoy his childhood pastimes. But the parents, that means you can consider he has two parents. One was childhood and one was when he was older. So the older Vasudeva and Devaki was with Krishna when he killed Kamsa. So anyway, he finally, at the age of about 12, Kamsa was very upset already, and he said the best thing is to bring him to Mathura. So he sent a devotee, Akura, go and bring these two cousins of yours. Say the king wants them to come to Mathura. So anyway, Krishna and Balaram went to Mathura, and all the inhabitants of Vrindavan were so sad. They were crying and crying and crying. They were saying, "Oh, we don't want Krishna to go, and we don't know when he will come back. We don't know whether the king of Mathura, what he's going to do with Krishna and Balaram." So anyway, they went to Mathura with Mathura, and there Krishna has he said, "Let me see Mathura," because Mathura was considered a city and Vrindavan is considered a village. So, when a person from the village goes to a city, he would like to see the city. So he said, "Let me see." So one of his famous pastime was there was this Dobi who was having who was Dobi of Kamsa. So he had a lot of nice clothes he already washed and he was bringing to the palace. So Krishna asked the Dobi, "Hey, what are you having?" He said, "I'm having clothes for Kamsa. Can I have some?" The Dobi said, "Rubbish, you cannot have anything at all. This is for Kamsa. You get lost." And Krishna just knocked his head and he died. Then after that, Krishna was walking on with Kamsa, and then they came across a hunchback lady. The hunchback lady was having chandan for Kamsa. She was also going to the palace. And then Krishna says, actually it's a hunchback young girl. Unfortunately, she was hunchback at a young age. So Krishna said, "What is this?" He said, "I'm bringing the chandan to Krishna." So he said, "Can we have some?" "Of course you can have some." Then she gave the chandan to Krishna. And then Krishna said, "Why are you hunchback?" He said, "I was born like this. What can I do?" Then Krishna stepped on her 2 feet with his feet. He held her hand and he pulled her. And then she became a very straight person. And she's actually quite pretty. And she became a very straight person and she was totally okay. And then she was amazed. How is it that this happened to me? She's thanked Krishna. "Thank you so much. You are so kind." So in this way, we can understand if whatever Krishna wants, we give to Krishna, Krishna will give you a lot. If Krishna wants something and you don't give, means that we are not properly situated. We don't understand that He's the Lord. He's actually testing us. He doesn't really need. He's just testing us. So the Dobi man was actually envious of Krishna and he was a great friend of Kamsa. So he was like considered a demon. So Krishna had to get rid of him also. So anyway, then after that, Kamsa asked Krishna, told Krishna and Balaram, "You will fight with my wrestling people." They said, "Okay, we can fight, no problem." And all the inhabitants of Mathura said, "What nonsense is this? How can two 12-year-old boys fight with great big wrestlers?" But anyway, what can they do? Kamsa was a tyrant and he did not accept anybody's criticism. So then before that, Kamsa also arranged a mad elephant to step on, to kill Krishna and Balaram by stepping on them. So when Krishna and Balaram walking, the person who was in charge of the mad elephant brought the mad elephant to near Krishna and Balaram, and the mad elephant was trying to kill Krishna and Balaram, but Krishna and Balaram just banged the mad elephant, and the elephant died. So after that, there was a wrestling match. And at the wrestling match, Chandrika and Mustika were the two wrestlers, very big, powerful wrestlers, the best in Mathura. So they had a wrestling match in like a stadium. So then when Krishna and Balaram, they killed both. Krishna killed one and Balaram killed the other. Both died. After that, Krishna jumped onto where Kamsa was, pulled him down and gave him a big hit and killed Kamsa. That was the end of Kamsa. And then Vasudev and Devaki were liberated from the jail. So that was Krishna's first birth, then his Vrindavan pastime, and then after this is pastimes in Mathura, and then after that, as we know, Krishna was a friend of Arjuna and the Pandavas, right? So what to do? So Krishna was so after he returned from Mathura and killed his uncle Krishna, he became a friend of Arjuna, and he became a instructor for Arjuna, helping Arjuna. And finally, because the Pandavas were entitled to the kingdom, and the Kauravas did not want to give the Pandavas the kingdom, Krishna says, okay, let us try and what you say, negotiate. So they asked for half the kingdom. So the half kingdom was finally given. But then after that, Duryodhan was not happy at the dice. He took back the kingdom. You know, with Yudhishthira, they played gambling, and Shakuni, the uncle, was the one who threw the dice. And finally, Shakuni won because the dice was loaded. He know which side the dice would fall, what numbers. So he will definitely win. So one by one, Krishna started losing. I mean, not Krishna. Yudhishthira started losing everything, and finally, he even put his wife in the match, and he lost the wife also. And then they pulled the wife. And they brought her to the palace, and the Duryodhan's brother started disrobing her. And then you know the nice story of how she surrendered fully to Krishna, and Krishna put so much sari that he keep on pulling and pulling that he cannot even finish pulling the much sari, and they have to surrender. Anyway, coming back, they said, okay, what you do is you go and you go in exile for 12 years. And the 13th year, you must go in exile without anyone noticing you. You come back, we will give you your kingdom. So then they had to go into exile. Here you can see Krishna is killing so many nice demons, or rather terrible demons. And here he is with Radharani. His lovely Radharani is always his favorite. He is so dear to her, and Radharani is so dear to him. This was the pastimes in Vrindavan. You can see so beautiful how Krishna, and this is you can see that the sari, Krishna gave the sari, unlimited sari. And during so anyway, finally, when the Pandavas did the exile in the 13th year also, without anyone finding out, they came to claim their kingdom. But again, Duryodhan said, no, I don't want to give. And this time he was very focused that he don't want to give. So Krishna went, he told Arjuna told Krishna, you go and see what you can do. So Krishna went as the ambassador to meet and asked Duryodhan, why not you give 5 villages? And he said, no, I cannot even give a single piece of land to the Pandavas. I don't want to give anything. So then Krishna said, then no choice, then there must be a war. So then there was a war. And you know, at the beginning of the war, Krishna and Arjuna. And the Bhagavad Gita was spoken in the war. And you can see the universal form of the Lord. You can see all these three are universal forms of the Lord. Okay. And Krishna, one thing about Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is uh, very kind, you know. He gave the immortal dialogue of Bhagavad Gita, and he actually uh, taught us how to actually get bhakti yoga, proper bhakti yoga. And you know, before this, everyone was like thinking, oh, we must, at the end of life, we must renounce everything and go to the jungle and then think of God and get Krishna, you know. But actually, Krishna did not say this in Bhagavad Gita. He he said you can still renounce the world but still do your duty as in normal life. You can still be in your house and be renounced. So Bhagavad Gita and the life of Krishna is very important for making spirituality accessible to ordinary people. Otherwise, spirituality was not accessible to ordinary people. You and me and everyone thought this nice Bhagavad Gita, and we are reading, we are understanding. So this is actually the special thing that Krishna has given to us also. The central message of Krishna is that a person can become a devotee and not be attached to the fruits of the action. So that is how you can actually get the divine. Uh, you can become above karma, and you can be in the transcendental mode. So Krishna is actually the Supreme Lord. He himself said in Bhagavad Gita, he is the Supreme Lord. And also Krishna also made bhakti very important, and also you can see how much bhakti Radharani and the gopis had for Krishna. So anyway, the battle was finally over. After the Bhagavad Gita was spoken, the battle was fought, and during the battle, Krishna also helped Arjuna many times. Actually, Krishna's promise that he is not going to fight, but he broke his promise for his devotees' sake. So then he was proving, he proved that his love for these devotees are higher than his love for him, even for himself. He says that I am very indebted to my devotees, pure devotees. So also, he also showed that actually the universal form during the Bhagavad Gita, and also, you know, he had 8 principal wives and 16,100 other wives. All these women were rescued from Narakasura palace, and after killing Narakasura, they said, please marry us because no one else will marry us after this, because we have been like contaminated by Narakasura. Krishna says, no problem. You all are my very close devotees. I will fulfill your desire. And so he married them. And so in the end, he got 16,108. So after the battle of Kurukshetra, Krishna visited Gandhari to offer his condolence. Gandhari, you know, is the son of Duryodhan and his 99 brothers. So Gandhari lost 100 sons in the battle. Gandhari was so upset that she cursed Krishna that because she thought that he could have stopped the fighting, but he did not. So she cursed Krishna. She cursed Krishna that Krishna will die within 36 years. So along with so anyway, Krishna already he had completed most of his pastime, and he wanted to go back to the Goloka Vrindavan. So he was very happy. He actually made arrangements for the curse to happen. And and one day he was in the forest, and there was this one hunter, and the hunter thought it was a deer. He shot the arrow, and the arrow actually did not hit Krishna's ankle even. It hit the soil next to Krishna. But Krishna pretended that the arrow hit him and he's dying. How can an arrow, even if it hit the ankle, how can an arrow kill a person, right? So so the hunter came and he saw that he had hit Krishna. He said, I'm so sorry, my lord. I really don't know that it was you. I thought it was a deer. Krishna says, it's okay. Don't worry. I made this arrangement that you will shoot the arrow, and I want the world to know that actually I died because of the shot of the arrow. But anyway, you go back to God, because you are actually a devotee, and somehow or another by the past time you are a hunter. Actually, how can a hunter go back to Godhead, right? He's killing animals. He should not be going back to Godhead. But actually, it's just a special case. So don't think that if you are a hunter, you can go back to Godhead. But this is a special case of this hunter. He was made to actually hunt. So anyway, then Krishna left the world at the age of 125 years. He was on the earth for 125 years, and he never grew old. Even when he was 125 years old, he was looked like 16 to 18 years old. His age, he looked like 16 to 18 years. So that is story of Krishna. So any question on this before we go to the next? Any question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yeah, in that battlefield, when Krishna was the charioteer, what was the role of Balaram here? Thank you.
Balaram, what he did, he was very upset that the war is going to go. So he said that I'm going on pilgrimage. He left. He only came back after the battle. He went to pilgrimage, all the holy places in India. He did not take part in the war.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. One last question, Prabhuji. Regarding the children of Krishna, may I know what happened? Thank you.
They also went back. They also did not, they don't have survivors after that. All went back. The wives, children, all the family of Krishna went back. When Krishna went back, everyone went back. Even the Yadus also went back. The cousins, the Yadu family of Krishna also all killed each other. That's another story. Krishna, when he came, all came and took birth. When he left, all left us. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Anyone else has any other question? Okay, so now we'll ask the two people who are going to share us their letter that they have wrote to Krishna. And there was a request for one Mataji for me to write a letter. Okay, I'll write a letter, but I'll only say it next week on Wednesday. And anyone else want to write also most welcome. So today, two people have agreed to write. So who would like to go first? Kaliama, you want to first? You want to do first? You can read your letter.
Yeah, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Just a second.
Speak louder a bit, huh?
Yep, Guruji. My letter to Lord Krishna, I start with like this. Chanting is a mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Dear Krishna, I have no idea of Lord Krishna, Vedas and Bhagavad Gita. During the pandemic time, which caused many of us mentally and physically stressed out. I came to know about this free Bhagavad Gita class online from my bestie. She will forward me the quiz that she had set the class for the day, and she said that there's another intake for the English version is coming. If you're interested, just enroll it. So I was eager to learn about Bhagavad Gita, so I applied for it. On the first day when Prabhuji conduct the class, I'm a bit lost due to I do not understand the Sanskrit, and it's very new for me. So after that class, I messaged personally to Prabhuji to clear my doubts. Should I know Sanskrit to proceed this class? And Prabhuji said, not necessary. If have any doubt, can refer to me after the class. So what attracted me into you? It was that you were very friendly, calm, show loving in all, living in this material world, exiting in everywhere. Oh Krishna, what I'm looking forward here is to be kind-hearted person through my anger, to learn more about your goodness and recite your mantra towards to better life in the material world. I have been tested very hard in my lifetime. I admit that I have made karma as well. I hope it will be forgiven. Hope that during my ending time will be granted in your spiritual world. Thank you, Krishna, for entering in my life. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. That's a nice letter.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Who is next? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Manju. Are you there?
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhu. I'm here.
Yeah.
Um, I asked Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamasachanuramartanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Prabhu Namaskar. Hare Krishna everybody. All glories to Sri Krishna and Srila Prabhupada. To write a letter to Sri Krishna, the most auspicious letter I know is Lakshmi Sarupini Mother Rukmani she wrote to Sri Krishna. Mother Rukmani heard about Sri Krishna and formed a picture of him in her heart and fell in love with Sri Krishna and wrote a letter describing her feelings and wanted to marry him and no one else. My letter to Sri Krishna is different. He is a teenager. He's like my teenage son. So I start my letter. My most dearest loving Krishna Lal, you are my heart, my whole world revolves around you. The first thing in the morning, I see you, and when I go to bed, I see you and put you to bed by singing the Purusha Stotram. His Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu, Deen Bandhu Jagatpate, Gopesha Gopika Kanta, Radha Kanta Namostute. O my Parameshwar, please stay in my heart with me. I know you have many friends, and because you are so beautiful, my Sundar Sham, everybody wants to steal you. Chichor, because you are stealing everybody's heart. I know you have so much to do looking after everybody's problems, solving all problems in the world. But my only request to you is to stay in my heart, and I am getting old. I want to hold on to you, my precious Nandalala. I also feel happy when I hear all your glories like a proud mother. I want you to be situated in everybody's heart and directing the wanderings of all living entities who are seated as a machine made of material energy. My Kana, I used to kiss and play with your feet and put them on my head. I always want to remember those beautiful feet and keep on calling Krishna Lal. My Giridhar Gopal, stay in everybody's heart and help everyone. And I pray that तुमको किसी का नजर ना लग जाए means no one um, s- um, I mean uh, gives you a bad omen or anything. With my love and kisses to your beautiful feet. Tha- mm, and I the Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hideshwar Dhunatishtate Brahmana Sarva Bhutani Yantra Adhani Mayaya. And also I want Tameva Sharanam Gacha Sarva Brahmana Bharata Tat Prasadam Parmam Shanti Shashvatam Prayapsi Shashvatam. Thank you everybody. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Manju. Very nice letter. Thank you, Kalima. Also very nice letter. The importance
Welcome, Prabhuji.
of the heart and devotion to the Lord is the most important. Okay, so anyone wants to write any letter, next week I will write a letter, and anyone wants to write, let me know so you can read your letter. It's nice to share your letter with others also. Don't just keep it to yourself and Krishna. Okay, all right, so we go to the next part. Ekadasi. So the Janmashtami is on the 30th of this month. So if a person is able to, he can fast until midnight. That means only drink water until midnight. After that, eat Ekadasi food. Because after fasting for a long time, you should not eat grain because it's very heavy. You should eat Ekadasi food. But if you can't do it also, that's all right. Don't worry. It's not the hard and fast rule. You can maybe want to do a half day fast up to 12 o'clock. But even if you can't do that also, that's okay. So in the morning you wake up, you cook some nice vegetarian food without onion, garlic, and you offer to the Lord and tell Krishna, Krishna, this one I know it's a very small offering, but this is the best I can do, and I'm giving it to you with love. And in the morning, you just wake up early and take a bath, cook some nice food, and offer to the Lord. And then after the offering, you do some arti, offer the ghee lamp, incense, and all that, and just chant some extra chanting rounds. Normally, if you're chanting maybe 4 rounds a day, you can chant maybe double of that, whatever it is. So if you're chanting for 16 already, you can chant whatever extra you want. Whatever, if you're doing 1 round, maybe you can do 2 rounds. So if you're not doing any also, you can maybe chant some rounds for the Lord. Because the Lord actually wants your devotion. He doesn't really need anything. He's like a father to all of us. He's looking after us. But he just wants to see how much you are loving him back. That's all. So that makes him happy. And when that makes him happy, you also become happy. Because how much you make the Lord happy, automatically you will get back the happiness in multiple forms. So in this way, make your life successful. Okay, that's for Janmashtami. So the next day is actually Prabhupada's appearance day. So Prabhupada is actually a pure devotee of the Lord. So you can also make some nice offering and offer to Krishna, then offer to Prabhupada, then you can eat the prasad. Okay. So in that way, this is the Vaishnava way of honoring the Lord and honoring the devotees of the Lord. So I will post, there will be also a Zoom festival. So I'll post it. Whoever wants to see is okay. And the Aarti is at midnight actually. For those in our ISKCON temple, is at midnight. So you don't have to like do it in the midnight. You can do it in the morning. That's okay. Don't worry so much about it. If you are going to a temple, then you come in the evening. But now it's COVID time, so time, place, and circumstances, Krishna uh, doesn't really worry so much about rules and regulations. He's only looking at how much you are having faith in him, faith in his directions, in his instructions on how to change your life. That is important. Okay. So now we talk on any questions so far before I talk on Ekadasi.
Prabhuji, for cooking the food for Krishna, do I have to get new utensils or I can use the one that I have now?
Your utensils are used for only vegetarian or you're using for non-veg things also?
Mix.
Okay, then you need to get, it's better to get things for vegetarian. That means have some utensils only for vegetarian. Then you cook for the Lord with things that you only use for vegetarian.
Okay, Prabhuji. Another thing is the Aarti, I offer the food first and then only do the Aarti, is it?
Yes, you offer the food and then you chant the mantras. I have sent you, right? The list, the mantras to chant.
I'm not sure, Prabhu. I have to check.
In the group, yeah. If you want, I can send again the mantras for chanting. Then you put there for 10-15 minutes and then you take out. And also when you are offering, you put in Krishna plate, the plates which are offered for the Lord. And when you're washing those plates and you're washing Krishna's pots, the one that you're offering the food, you separate sponge and soap. Don't mix with the ones that you are not using for vegetarian.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
Anything else? Anyone else have any question?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
When we are in a spiritual path,
Yes.
two things are stressed. I am not focusing on Krishna consciousness alone. I mean, as a general statement,
Okay.
they talk about faith and they talk about surrender.
Yeah.
Could you elaborate? Because
Okay, you have to be a bit more particular. I mean, like a person is not totally in Krishna conscious. He is also in some other faith.
my focus is not so much as on the faith, but more on the concept of faith and surrender.
To,
How is it applied in Krishna consciousness? Thank you.
okay. So okay, that's okay. If whatever you want to do, you do. I mean, like if you don't want to do any offering and all that, that is up to you. At least you do some chanting on that day for the Lord.
No, Prabhuji, my question is on the concept of faith and surrender as in general, as in day-to-day life.
Yeah. Okay. You're not for the Janmashtami day.
No. I'm talking about on a daily basis. How do we deal with this? Because when anything, I mean, even something small can trigger certain kind of emotion where faith and surrender is not the primary.
One example.
An example, let's say something, someone irritates you.
Yeah.
Just a simple situation, let's say in a working environment, a colleague irritates you.
Yeah.
Something happens. And then at that moment, you get all these things worked up.
Or you get upset and you get worked up with the person.
Yes, okay. So at that moment, when we talk about in a spiritual path, you need to have faith, you need to surrender to the Supreme Lord. But at that moment, you're basically we're pissed off. So how do we keep that in check? When they say that you have to be in consciousness all the time.
No, actually, consciousness meaning, like Krishna says, that you should understand that people are in the modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance, right? So the people who are irritating you, they may be actually something like people in the mode of passion. So they are doing what according to their nature. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that you don't get upset. You just take it in your stride, and then you know that these people are under the modes of passion or ignorance or whatever, and they can't help it. So in that way, you become a little bit more compassionate, and you won't get angry with them. They are doing what is already they have been under the training to do. If they are people in a mode of passion, they are doing it because they already been in the mode of passion all the while. It's their nature. Like example, if a nature of a snake to bite, you can't blame a snake from biting. Correct?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So if a person makes you angry, it's just remember that okay. Just if it gets you angry, what you do, you quietly just chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. You will calm down. Internally, you don't have to chant out. Internally, you just chant Hare Krishna, Krishna. You try that, then you will actually automatically calm down. And also, you just forgive the people who are actually irritating you, because they can't help it. That's the nature. What to do? Kalyama had the same problem she asked me yesterday. We were talking. So that's it. Does that answer your question or not?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
In that way, you're already Krishna conscious. You don't worry. You're just following what Bhagavad Gita is saying. You are already Krishna conscious. Don't worry. I mean, not necessarily you'll be thinking of Krishna 24 hours. You are not that level. So we don't have to become artificial. So the best thing is to just, okay, this person is doing like this. What does Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita? He said, be equipoised, don't worry. These all are like storms. They come and go, and then you just internally, to control your temper, just chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. It works. For me, it works. I don't know whether it works for you. Try it.
Yes, Prabhuji, let's try. Thank you so much.
It doesn't work, you come back to me that or it's like you're going to a doctor, he give you some medicine, it doesn't work, you come back to a doctor and receive some other medicine we can do for you.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. I think it'll help a lot of us. Thank you so much.
Okay, any other question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, I have a question. The other inquiry for the utensils, cooking utensils for prepare prasad for Krishna. Okay, we use separate utensils, but how about the gas stove? You know, the stove.
No problem. Okay, no problem.
Although we've been using the stove for cooking non-veg food, but we can still use it, right? Prabhu, we can't hear you.
Can, no problem. You can use the same stove.
Okay, thank you.
Any other question? Okay, then we talk a little on 5-10 minutes on Ekadasi. Then I think the next class, Wednesday, we talk more. Anyone has any requests on what they want to learn? RT all I will teach you next week, next Wednesday. Anyone has any requests, they can always message me. Anyway, our group, I have allowed everyone to actually put the messages in, but don't unnecessarily put in messages. Just keep it like for this specific purpose. Okay, don't put good morning, all that, because you clutter up the whole uh, grouping, then problem will come. Okay.
Prabhuji, one more question.
Yeah.
Will you be doing a demo of the RT or what?
I will show you a demo. Yeah, maybe a video on it.
Okay, thank you.
I won't do myself. I can show you a video. It's the same thing, right? So there is actually a RT for the Lord, and there's also RT for Tulsi. There are two types of RT, and it's different things you need, different items. Okay, now we talk about Ekadasi. Ekadasi is considered the mother of all fasts. If you fast on Ekadasi and you don't fast any other fast, it is also considered complete. So sometimes you fast for Lakshmi, you fast for this, for that. You can just do Ekadasi fast and it's complete. But then, of course, if you do Ekadasi fast and you fast for Lakshmi also, that's not wrong. That's also okay. You know, you want to do more, it's also okay. Just like we are chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, we just by chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, all the other mantras are covered. Hanuman Chalisa or whatever other mantras, all are covered. But if you want to do this and you want to do that, also it's okay. Because you see, it's your desire. But after a while, you will find that just chanting Hare Krishna is actually sufficient, because when you satisfy Krishna, it's like you putting the water onto the roots of the tree. The whole tree gets nourished. So Krishna is the one who is taking care of all of us. He's also taking care of all the devas and the devis. So automatically everyone gets nourished. When you do the fire sacrifice also, the priest will always do it for Lord Vishnu, but actually all the other devas get nourished. So in that way, Ekadasi comes every about 14 or 15 days, twice a month approximately. So I have been posting the day before. So what you do is from midnight onwards, you don't eat any more grains. And of course, I hope you don't wake up until midnight. But anyway, after midnight, you don't eat any more grains. And the next day, you can actually eat. If you can fast without grains, without food also, it's okay. Some people do that. That means they don't eat anything. Some even don't drink water. But I don't recommend something that you can't do. do it what you can do. Do what you can do. Don't make your body such that later on you will have health problems, because some bodies can do it, some cannot. So it individually, and also it depends on the age. During so then you can eat non-grain, meaning you can eat fruits, you can eat uh, you can eat nuts like walnuts, cashew nuts, pecan nuts, ground nuts. All these can be eaten, but make sure you are not cooking or frying them in jagung, corn oil. Corn is grain. So you can fry them in oil palm or sunflower oil or coconut oil. These three oils are safe. Other oils, canola oil, I don't recommend because they do mix with other oils. I don't know whether canola is it's grain or not. So I'm not sure. So what you're not sure, you keep away. So in this way, uh, you can fast, and the next day you can eat some grains after the breakfast time. So the breakfast time also I gave you from this time to this time, so you can eat some grains, and you eat normal after that. So that is actually, it is also helping you spiritually. It also helps you physically, because that day you don't eat grain. What is, you giving your body a rest. There are some people who don't eat grain, they get headache. So I know this is actually because they haven't done it before. So sometimes in the beginning you get headache. So what you can do is you can maybe eat some banana, because banana is actually a heavy fruit. It is actually a fruit, but it's like a food fruit, so that is okay. You can eat also nuts. Nuts is also something which is heavy. Potato can, sweet potato can, uh, yam can, all these roots, carrot can. So what I'm not sure of, but fresh milk can, but not powdered milk or reconstituted milk. It must be fresh cow's milk, or you to the uh, supermarket, they have fresh milk, and then the ingredients must be milk, pure milk. Cannot be reconstituted milk. Reconstituted powder. So you can't use powder milk. Okay. So these all are actually very nice way of not difficult fasting. Otherwise, you want to fast, many other type of fast is very difficult. So this one is the main idea of doing this fast, is to actually control your body also, and also give more time to doing spiritual things and remembrance of the Lord, so that ultimately uh, your devotion increases. What you need is actually devotion. Devotion is what will bring you back to the spiritual world. Rules and regulations are to help you get your devotion, but they are not the process to go back to the spiritual world. They are to process to make you have devotion for the Lord, so you can go back to the spiritual world. And Krishna has given us Bhagavad Gita. He has given us we are very fortunate to get Bhagavad Gita, because everything is in it. Everything that you need. How to be a good person, how to be a person, the qualities that you should have, all are in Bhagavad Gita. In the more Krishna has spelled it out, the qualities that you are supposed to have. When you do these qualities, you will actually become like a gem, like a diamond. You will be a very beautiful person, and you will definitely go back to the Supreme Lord. So anyway, it's step by step. So hopefully everyone has love for the Lord, and Manju's letter was very nice, in the sense that she has got the essence of the devotion. And Kalyama is also nice, because she's just starting, so it's okay, no problem. This was also very nice. At least she came forward and she wrote, and she's frank about it. She's not. She's telling what she feels. So in this way, we all hopefully we help each other. You help me, I help you. All of us help each other, so that all of us, all of everyone can go back to the spiritual world. That's the main point. That's what Krishna came down for, to give Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. He's given the Bhagavad Gita to us now, so that we all can go back to the spiritual world. So more kind. Sometimes they say, why is Krishna so unkind? Why are there so many bad things happening in this material world? So that is not what Krishna is doing. It's just the human beings are doing bad to each other. And then he has to come down and set it right. He cannot be interfering too much. He has his reasons. So, like he had the reasons why the Mahabharata war was supposed to, he had to get rid of a lot of people. So that is his reason. We don't understand the wider picture. We only can see one perspective. So we don't lose hope. We have sincerity, determination, and what? Sincerity, determination, and faith. Sincerity in your life, determination to become a devotee, and faith in the Lord. These three things will help you. Okay. So any question before we close today? All understood so far?
Prabhuji, what about other vegetables like leafy vegetables? Can?
Can. Spinach can. Savi cannot.
Oh,
Savi is something from grain.
oh, okay, okay, I get it.
Kangkong can. So if you really want to eat something, you just message me. This one can or not? Or
Okay, okay,
You can have sago and you can also have quinoa.
what is that?
Sago.
Sago can. Indian sago can. Malaysian sago cannot.
Okay. And also quinoa. You can have quinoa and buckwheat.
Yeah, buckwheat also can. And then there's Moria rice also can. It is not a rice, but they call it Moria seed. Okay. Anyway, you can post that this item can or not in the group. Then I can answer. So at least everyone knows. Now I've opened to everyone to post. No problem. Okay. You can eat spinach can. I can eat carrot can. Cucumber can. What else can? What other things can you think of?
Sweet potato.
And sweet potato can, but you can't take long beans, French beans. These are under the grain. Dal all cannot take. Okay. Okay, then good night, everyone. See you on Wednesday, same time, 7:15 if you want to do chanting, 7:30 if just for the class. And anything you need, you can just message and I will.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, everyone. Good night.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna,
Hare
everybody.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everybody. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. And namaskar to everybody as well.
Hare Krishna,
Namaskar.
Prabhu.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Mataji Kaliamma. Thank you to all. Hare Krishna.
Welcome, Mataji.